So this is a document I wrote. Now, it's a monthly newsletter. I write a monthly newsletter every month, and there's about 83 of these newsletters. You get them when you become a member. It's about referrals, right? And the effort required for referrals is hardly anything, the input, and yet the result is exponentially. I mean, if you're a person who likes working smarter, not harder, referral systems are the way to go. It's the place I get everybody to start. I mean, there's all sorts of fancy things you can do with Facebook and LinkedIn and other types of things, and they can work. I mean, we saw one person doing some good stuff with Bark, possibly. They can work. Referrals always works, right? Because at the end of the day, architecture is a referral business, right? Reactive referrals that just randomly come in the door is not marketing, in my opinion. That's just lucky. But when you proactively do stuff that triggers referrals, especially the type that you want, then you, my good sir, good madam, are definitely engaging in referral marketing. This week I have felt burned out, run down, not slightly ill, and lacking a clear head. So rather than dazzle you with witty repartee for 8 pages, I'm going to give you 9 or so referral systems that I gave the mastermind group in our virtual summit last week. This is a while ago. Now, the number 1 strategy is Dirty 30. The number 2 is Directory of Experts. They're my best ones. These are the other ones. Okay, if you want these ones, that's cool. Join our 6 Maps program. You'll get those. These other ones are very good as well. Okay, now the first one, and this is a pretty simple one, referral pricing. Okay, and it's as simple as this: would you like the normal price or the referral price? And they go, oh, what's the referral price? And you go, oh, sorry, didn't I tell you? Now this works particularly well if you do LCC. So LCC is paid pre-design research, and that's where I would use this one. I don't particularly like the idea of using it for your design fees, because your design fees I don't think should be discounted, right? It's good if you do an LCC. So some of you will heard about this before. It's paid pre-design research, and that is a good place to do the strategy, right? Because you're only going to charge $2,000 or $3,000 for doing a feasibility study, and you can discount that, $300 or something like that, right? You might give 20%. You might give them $600 off. Who cares, right? Would you like the normal price and the referral price? And they go, oh, what's the referral price? And you go, oh, sorry, didn't I tell you? The referral price is, if you go ahead with the feasibility study or the needs and options review, I can give you 20% off that if you think that you could refer someone in the next 90 days. If someone's, you're going to speak to a lot of people about projects, because people are talking about projects, You'll find other people talk about your projects. And if you think you can refer someone else who does one of these feasibility studies, then I can give you 20% off. And they go, oh, wow, I don't know. I'll tell you what, look, I'll give it to you off. I'll fast forward it, or as long as you've got the intention of doing it, then I'll give you the 20% off now. If it turns out you don't, that's all right. As long as your intention is to, if you engage in conversations and you just know that, you should be referring someone to me, then you knowing that is enough for me. How's that sound? Well, that sounds very generous. Thanks very much. Okay, great. Okay. If they don't send you a referral, for whatever reason, you can remind them later on, because they have got this deal. So you can prompt them. Hey, has anyone been talking to you about any projects? Have you come across anyone? They might be, no, not really. Or they might, and that's cool. No worries. I wouldn't charge them the extra later on. It's no big deal. But what you've done is sown the seed. You've now got a person who is a potential salesperson, and you probably weren't charging for pre-design research anyway before, right? So you're better off in every single way. Okay, so referral pricing. I wouldn't do it on design. I would learn to do the LCC and do that one. Okay, that's one. The next one I want to show you is just a straight out ask. Okay, right. seems silly to include this as a strategy, but when was the last time you actually asked for referrals from clients or suppliers? Right? Most people think you're super busy, which you are, but you mightn't be so busy if you didn't need to do so much marketing, right? So either that or feeding your prospects, feeding you prospects is not on their radar, right? Their job isn't to think about you and think about marketing. It's the same with, I work with architects, accountants as well. They don't get many referrals either. Why not? Why haven't I referred my accountant? It's because it's not my job. I'm not really thinking about her. I'm thinking about me. It's all about me, right? Yeah, could I refer her? I could, I guess. Yes, I could. Has she prompted me to refer her? She asked me to. Has she sent out any incentives? You know, is she offering me an iPad for referring or anything like that? No. She doesn't talk about it. I don't talk about it. Okay, here's a script, and this is a really good script. I'll read out this bit first, and then I'll explain the psychology behind what I'm saying here, because a lot of you, and I understand, you don't like asking for referrals because it sounds a bit needy. If you do it this way, it doesn't really sound needy. Okay. All right. So you say something like this, or it goes in an email. In 2 months from now, I'm in a position to take on a couple of new clients. We're not looking for anyone. We're specifically looking for someone who, and then you put in some criteria, you know, whatever it is. They're really good to deal with. Maybe they have a budget of over $500,000, and they, I don't know, whatever it is you consider to be a good client or a good project, right? It's whatever it is. If someone comes to mind over the next month or so, would you be happy to connect them with me? Here's the best way to, and they'll probably go yes, right? Here's the best way to connect us. If they're doing an ABC type of project, can you ask them if they'd be open to having a chat with me where I can help them with, and you state a couple of things which are very specific that you can help them with. Okay. I can help them with getting a better understanding of what the project might cost. I can help them understand who the experts are that they might need to connect with, and I can give them maybe a one-page action plan, right? Something specific. That's how I can help them, right? If they're happy with that, then can you call me or text me on this number with their details, and I'll contact them. But please, I only want people who have told you they're happy for me to reach out to them. Okay? Now, let's just diagnose what's been said here. In 2 months from now, I'm going to be in a position to take on a couple of new clients. We're not looking for anyone. We're specifically looking for someone who fits this criteria. Right. If you are specific, it makes you look discerning. It makes you look professional, and you're on a strategic mission to, move your business in a certain direction rather than just desperately taking anything that moves. Right. Now, notice also it says in 2 months from now. That also implies you're not desperate. Right? We're not looking for anyone implies you're not desperate. We're not looking for anyone. We're specifically looking for this. Okay? Right. So that takes you away from looking desperate. It's just we're looking for this type of project because we're going to be, we've got some space in a couple of months. If someone comes to mind over that next month or so, would you be happy to connect them with me? Right? So you're asking the question. If you're face to face with them or something like that, or you're on the phone, they'll say, yeah, sure. And then you tell them how, right? Now, you don't want cold calls. You don't want to say, oh, give this guy a call. He'd be worth giving a call to. And this guy and this woman, give them a call. No. We don't want that, right? Here's the best way to connect us. If they're doing this type of project, can you ask them if they'd be open to having a chat with me where I can help them work out a very wide ballpark figure of range for what their project might be, outline some of the experts they should be speaking to in the early stages. I can open up my Rolodex and you still got a Rolodex. And 3, I can give them an action plan, right? Once again, the more specific it is, the more you're plugging thoughts into their head. They get to visualize it. And seeing is believing. But when you get people to visualize things, pictures stick in people's heads, right? So now they're picturing the type of project, they're picturing what you can do for them, and they're picturing how you're going to help them, and also how they're going to connect you. They've visualized all that now, right? Once they've seen it, the seed has been planted. Nothing desperate about this, right? Nothing desperate. It's all pretty cool, but you got to be doing it, right? I mean, if you did this to every client or even supplier, right, you're bound to get some projects from it, right? You've let them know that you are looking for projects. You've let them know how to connect with you. The seed's been sown, and, you know, that's cool. And you'll do the same for them, okay? Any comments on this letter? Just any comments on this letter here, or email or script? You could use it in a number of ways, right? Is that something simple, and is it something that would be worth putting in place as opposed to having nothing in place? I know it takes a while for comments to come through, so just comment on this letter, just the script here. By the way, like I said, oh, hang on. No. All right. Now, you can get a copy of this whole document later on. I'll tell you how to get that. Now, I'll show you document number 3. So this is strategy number 3. Strategy number 1 was referral pricing. Number 2 was this little script here. These are really easy ones to do. The first 2. That's why I'm giving them to you. The next one would require, it's a little bit more involved because you would have to just change the thing I'm going to show you now. Okay, this one here. All right. Holly's letter. I know you can see it, but I can't find it on my screen. There it is. All right. All right. Now, Holly is my daughter. Now, a few years ago, I thought, I want to put out a referral letter, and I want it to be a fun one. So I did this one. Right. So that last one is pretty kind of, it's serious. It's good. It's very effective, and it will work. Here's a different one just for fun. Right. And if you like this one, type Barbie into the chat window, and we'll get you this one immediately. We'll set it up and give you a copy of this in PDF. Okay. So here it is. Is the tooth fairy real? No, it doesn't sound like a referral letter from the outset, does it? It's a referral. Right. Is the tooth fairy real? My name is Holly Petrie, and I am 6 years old. My dad runs speed marketing. That's what I happened to be doing at the time in Wellington. And last month, when I lost a tooth, I asked the tooth fairy for a big Barbie castle and lots of Barbie clothes. Well, guess what? The tooth fairy came, and all I got was a small Barbie castle. Dad says if I want more clothes, I need to buy them myself. He says he will pay me $1 for every letter I post out to you and anyone else. He says that he will give everybody an extra $100 off to buy the guerrilla marketing kit, and here is the coupon. So I was selling a guerrilla marketing kit at the time, and there's the coupon. And that's me, right? $100, good till the 23rd of August, 2010. Oh, that's how old this letter is, but it's still a good one, right? That's my birthday, by the way. Not that you asked. Right, cut it out and send it back before the 23rd of the 8th, 2011, or whatever it says. Might have been 2010. Cut it back, send before this date, and get your $100 off, and me $1. Thank you, Holly. Right now, I have had John Stanton in our mastermind group. He did an architect version of it. I couldn't find it. I could only find my original version. But an architect could download this. Just put in Barbie into the chat window. We'll send it to you, and you can adapt this letter for yourself. It would be, once again, this would work probably better if you were giving $100 off an LCC probably than giving $100 or $1,000 off your design. Discounting your design never looks good, but discounting your pre-design research is perfectly acceptable. It would work better that way. All right. All right. Jeff loves Barbie, and it's very topical, isn't it? Because Barbie is the big movie at the moment. All right. So I'm going to open up now for questions. So if you've got any questions about referrals or anything you're doing, then now's the time. Feel free to type those in. Like father, like daughter. Yep, she's a little marketer, actually. Good little marketer. She might have made $20 from that. Bought herself some Barbie clothes. And that was a lot of money back in 2010. Now, yeah, type in Barbie if you want a copy of that Holly's letter. And I'm sure you could adapt it. Or you just want to have it for fun. The newsletter, I'll tell you what we'll do, is part of when we do these live streams, if Christian's still there, when we do these live streams, you'll get the big idea letter. So that's the letter I was reading off before that had the script, and it had about 9 different easy referral strategies that you can deploy. You have to speak to Christian. So Christian usually gives everybody a quick call and sets you up with that other document. And I want him to also ask you a few questions about your number one problem, because we're doing a bit of a survey and we'd like to know what is the big challenges for people. So if you're happy to answer those questions, he'll give you that big idea letter, and he'll find out what your number one problem is, and he'll fit you up with a solution that directly helps you solve whatever your number one problem is. There's not really a problem that you can come up with, probably, if it's marketing related, that we don't have a resource for. So he'll fix you up with that as well. All right. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right. Anyone have any questions or comments or thoughts? Has anyone come up with a really good referral strategy that something else that is worthy of mention? Cool. Yeah, the PDF will come when Christian will do a quick call. I want him to survey you guys to find out what your number one challenges are. So he'll do a quick call at some point. If you pick up the phone and answer him, you know what it's like, because I know he'll do it within the next 7 days. I know what it's like. There's a lot of calls come to people and you just don't answer them if you don't know who they are. But if you can just pick up your phone in the next 7 days, it'll probably be Christian. He'll give you the big idea letter, and he'll ask you about your number one problem, and he'll give you one more resource, right? That'll help you with your thing.